It's fine for anyone not to want to invest in any kind of an asset class, but where I get confused is with people who get compelled to hate on it. I regularly hear people rail against Bitcoin and gold, and I find myself tempted to debate with them until I realize something important. I'm an investor, and being an investor is just a fancy word for saying I'm a speculator. I don't need to convince anyone why I invest in both Bitcoin and gold. It's up to me. And I own both of them for very similar reasons, to protect against inflation and the debasement of fiat currency. But I'm not a gold bug, nor am I a Bitcoiner. I've been in the markets for more than 25 years now, and I've learned that rather than hate on an asset class, it's better if I expose myself a little bit to all of the different assets that are out there. The way I manage how bullish I am about any of these asset classes is entirely in how much I buy. If I believe in it for the long term and have a lot of faith, I'll buy more. If I'm skeptical, I'll buy less. But at the end of the day, I want exposure to pretty much everything. There were naysayers in the 1970s who said that gold was worthless. And even though the United States was re-legalizing the ability for citizens to hold gold, that it wouldn't increase in value. Gold was trading at $101.60 in 1976, and in 2024, it's now trading at more than $2,000. That's a gain of more than 1,900%. There were people who claimed that Amazon was going to go under after the dot-com bust. Amazon was trading at its low of 28 cents back in 2001. But now it's trading at more than $154 a share. That's a gain of nearly 5,500%. Then there were those people who said that Apple was going to go bankrupt back in 1997 before Steve Jobs returned to take over as CEO. Apple was trading at 12 cents a share in 1997. And now in 2024, it's trading at $185 a share. That's a gain of more than 154,000%. None of these naysayers who were trying to talk people out of investing in these different assets made any money from their opinions. And now they have no credibility either. Even if they'd been right, they still wouldn't have made any money. So what was the value in hating on any of these assets? When I bought Nvidia at $15.67 a share in 2016, I didn't know that it was going to be a leader in artificial intelligence in the future. I just used their gaming GPUs since the 1990s, and I thought the then narrative about data center use was interesting. When I bought Apple at $14.09 a share in 2013, I didn't have any idea they were going to create an expansive services offering headed forward. I had bought an iPhone 1 on launch day in 2007, really liked the products, and believed that Apple could still innovate into the future. When I bought Square, now Block, at $11.10 in 2016, it wasn't because I knew they were going to create a cash app and an entire platform that would attract millennials and Gen Z to finance. No, it was because I used to run an on-site services business, and the ability to accept credit cards with nothing more than a cell phone would have been a godsend for me at that point. I don't own gold because I know it's going to 10x in the event of inflation and debasement, but it could. And I own Bitcoin for very similar reasons. If Bitcoin goes to $1.5 million like Cathie Wood predicts, which I'm skeptical about, all the naysayers will go down in the annals of history with the people who said that gold wasn't going to increase in value, or that Google was just another search engine. Or like past Microsoft CEO Steve Ballmer said in 2009, let's face it, the internet was designed for the PC. The internet is not designed for the iPhone. Sure, there are plenty of investments that will go to zero, and maybe Bitcoin and even gold could be among these that become worthless for one reason or another in the future. And if you don't like an investment, that's fine. But trying to talk other people out of investing in an asset doesn't make any sense. You get nothing if you're right, and your credibility gets destroyed if you're wrong. I'm not married to any of my investments, but I've made it a practice not to eschew any investment asset class. All investing is speculation. I don't need to believe that Bitcoin's going to $1 million a coin. All I need to do is ask myself, what if it happens and I have zero exposure? Watch this video to learn what happened when I told the entire internet that Nvidia was going to crash 40%, and what I think of this AI powerhouse now.